Hello, my name is Alicia Torres, and this is my presentation on analyzing mass media and popular culture. This presentation will use the content research method to analyze media and pop culture. The focus is the advertisements in a popular magazine, and the desired outcomes are to examine the characteristics of the content that is used in the advertising, to outline the messages being portrayed in these advertisements, and finally to identify, define, and apply sociological concepts to those advertisements. So the subject magazine is the September 2019 edition of Women's Health Magazine. Now, Women's Health Magazine is a women's magazine that focuses on news and trends in health, fitness, weight loss, nutrition, and beauty. The target audience in this magazine is women, and out of 153 pages, 51 of those pages are advertisements. So as we look, the first thing that we see in this magazine is that the majority of the advertisements are beauty focused. There are slogans here like "Make Us Better," "Shine," "Be Youthful," "Kiss Makeup Mess Goodbye." And then there's even vitamins in multiple of these advertisements that talk about making you beautiful. So the key sociological concepts here really stem from Erving Goffman's dramaturgy, which focuses on impression management, the effort to control the impressions we make on others so that they form a desired view of us and the situation. So in this case, we're actors on a stage and we have to put up a front. And what we show on the front stage, that outward projection, is our picture of beauty that we have come to accept within our society. But backstage, we're really just rehearsing to conform to what we believe is expected of us as women. So next up is food and diet. And what you can see here is you've got a few different items. You've got some that are vegan, some that are a little more diet focused as far as a keto type diet, or looking at cutting out some of the donuts by utilizing some sort of a nut milk. And then you've got some items that are made strictly from plants. And then you even have an advertisement, which is a little out of the norm for these, which is a lasagna. So these really are looking at a culture, a way of life. They are showing the cultural movement towards the trends of eating low calorie, eating a more vegan diet, trying to eat more food that is made from plants. And then some of these items, if you look, they can represent the ethnocentrism of our society, where we tend to look only at what we do and try to project that onto others, versus a more cultural relativism where we understand other cultures. And again, this can be associated to the foods that we eat. If we are open-minded and do not try to project our standards and culture onto others, we may find that there could be other examples of diet or food that we would enjoy that we would not normally have been open-minded to. So next is personal care items. You've got a few of these here that are toothpaste, mouth care, some deodorant, but really the bulk of the personal care items were feminine hygiene products. And a lot of them focus to thin, can't see it, really trying to hide the feminine side of women. And this can really go into gender inequality. So when you're looking at gender inequality, women are seen as more expressive, which is more emotional and nurturing. And sometimes this could be tied even to those feminine hygiene type products, because we're showing our more hormonal or emotional sides. A lot of times the expressive roles are considered to be focused on motherhood and more of a feminine responsibility versus the instrumental role, which is more masculine and planning and handling finances and being the breadwinner. So here are some examples. On the left, you see a more expressive version where it's an advertisement for food, but it's saying that it's worth smiling about because kids love the taste and moms love that they're 100% real baked cheddar. So this is just showing that that mom is being nurturing and caring for her child. On the right, you have an advertisement that is talking about saving money. And that is a little more instrumental. And that is really the only true advertisement that can be classified as instrumental within this magazine. So it does show that it is focusing more to an expressive or feminine side versus that instrumental or more masculine side. There was one advertisement in this magazine that showed a little more of deviance and gender non-conforming. You have a woman here who's kind of going against the gender norms. She is showing the feminine side, but a little bit more masculine activity of some sort of racing, whether it be on a motorcycle or on a car. She's really breaking the rules of standard women's beauty and portraying a more current trend of women empowerment, that women can be who they want to be. Another piece that I really saw in here with the advertisements was the racial inequality. There were very few non-white women in these advertisements. In fact, I only found 3 that stood out. So they were definitely subject to underrepresentation. And then in addition to that, I see some that could be actually some sort of a stereotype. If you look at the top left, it says all taste, no drama, and you have what's being portrayed as a Hispanic woman, that could almost be considered a microaggression, where people are insinuating that there is drama with that particular race. So those are things that we definitely want to watch out for. And then you've also got the material culture. I mean, here, these are objects that are associated with a cultural group, any physical object to which we give social meaning. And in this case, it's the American woman lifestyle. And it can also be associated with status and social class. I mean, you've got this really nice diamond ring on the side. The other, you have some shoes and some attire. And then you've got some gender inequality in health. Women are leading more stressful lives, according to our reading, and depression is more likely in women. So a lot of these were focused to depression, to bipolar disorder, headaches, skin conditions, and other feminine items. But then there was also the right to birth control that I noticed in here. There was a big 2-page ad on birth control. And, the other piece of this could also be the status and social class, because not every woman is going to have access to all of the medications that are here. Then we saw some equality, which was actually a bit refreshing. Some men in non-conforming roles being more expressive. You have a man playing with a child who is on the diapers packaging, and then another man on the bottom right who is playing with a cat. And you've got animals in general that were advertised in here. Those could really represent health, cultural, and social class. I mean, some of these look like animals that might be a little more pricey. So in conclusion, there was a heavy focus to gender role socialization, which is the lifelong process of learning to be masculine or feminine, primarily through agents of socialization. There was a lot of heteronormativity, which is the belief that heterosexuality is and should be the norm. There were no other types of couples. And there wasn't a lot of diversity, and the focus to the issues was mainly white and gender conforming women. So thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed my presentation.